Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about spiritual warfare. I have another channel on astrology and a Facebook page, which you'll find in the description box below, on which I wrote prophetic writings. In this video, God has guided me to talk about a topic of very recent research. It's a very sensitive topic, which I'm not supposed to reveal entirely now, at least not here, not on YouTube. I invite everyone to everyone who is actually a spiritual fighter and everyone who has the responsibility in reestablishing the divine truth in 3D to check the file which I created in Akashic records with my research. There you will find much information which I usually don't share publicly yet, because it's part of a broader spiritual fighting, not pertaining just my situation, but the global situation. And I created this file specifically for this reason, as normally, according to divine will, in 3D, I was supposed to work, to do my spiritual work together with certain individuals who proved actually to turn against me even before I started my spiritual fighting consciously. So as I started learning truth, divine truth about situations which were supposed to be handled by others, I literally had nobody to work with. I had nobody to share this information with. This is why I asked Jesus and God to create a file in Akashic record where to make that information available to those who were supposed to work with God, not against God. Now, what happened though, unfortunately, is consequence of an information which I recently discovered, and is very disturbing. I think the most disturbing information I found in my entire spiritual fighting, whereby one nation, just one nation, literally is at war with God and has created the entire 3D and all these bondages, all this madness of redesigning the humankind, the humans, with the hidden agenda against God. And basically, I created that file so individuals who actually do stand in light and do carry on the fight will have the possibility to reach that information, since I have been targeted continuously and I was not in the situation to actually talk to them. This is very important because it will be an eye-opener to everyone how literally humans, souls, once they incarnated, they became targeted and literally transformed to the DNA level, to make them believe certain fake timelines created by some crazy bastards who are, I imagine, mad, thinking that they can actually rule the world. This is important because most individuals, I have learned through my spiritual fighting, because I was alone in this, basically, with God and Jesus and divine realm. I got to, as I was breaking bondage created against me and on me, I started learning also about my opponents who were embracing an agenda of being my enemies to destroy me. And I have learned truth about them as well. I must say to you that many times it has been shocking to me to learn about them, how they actually were supposed to be or were designed to be and sent into 3D to be actually my allies in this spiritual fighting. But somehow along the way, they succeeded to create in these individuals fake beliefs, fake loyalties to fake values of greed, of hate, of through many instruments, trauma bonding, and all sorts of narratives which were impregnated with all sorts of energy work and technology and so on. And they literally created monsters out of these individuals. Now, of course, I will carry on my spiritual fight, and if they embrace these fake narratives which were created upon them in order to disempower them and to steal their path and redirect them to wrong directions, that is not my problem, and I'm determined to continue my spiritual fighting, to break free, and to carry on my path with God and with Jesus. But leaving this alone, it really is a pity, once you learn the divine truth, to see individuals who are evil, literally, and are conducting illegal and evil actions against me or against any of you, who were actually created and sent by God here in order to be your allies and to have a common path with you. If you take yourself out of the equation and you look at the situation objectively from a higher perspective, it really is a pity to see how they succeeded to transform these individuals and to change identities, to make them believe they have different nationality, different purpose, different and all of this only to serve the agenda of one single nation which basically have been conducting a war against God, creating the 3D with all of this craziness of witchcraft and sorcery and so on. And they are using these tools to mislead others. It is not enough space on my memory card to discuss about how this was achieved. My entire spiritual work is presenting different tools that they used and so on. But at the end of the day, it is an individual work with God. And if I have to choose just one huge advantage which I had throughout my spiritual fighting and throughout my existence, I think it's this one, namely that since they turned everyone against me, or they made sure to create circumstances in my life in such a way so I will always be surrounded by their people, so I will never get to reach out to individuals who actually walk the same path with me, then I had only one option: to walk my path only with God, Jesus, and divine realm, and to never rely on anybody in 3D, because all of those who were surrounding me were their people who were programmed to carry out a war against me, which literally, if anybody would, any one of them would sit in light and would judge correctly, will see that it's absurd, that is evil, and that really doesn't have a decent sense or justification. Now, I'm not talking about me now. In this video, I was guided to talk about the broader situation, and the concern behind this video is for all those individuals who were misled and literally were programmed to believe fake realities about themselves above all, which led ultimately to them embracing an agenda which is not theirs. Throughout my spiritual fighting, many times I asked God, I said, I know this individual. I know this individual from high school. I know this individual from my workplace. I know this individual. They have their own gifts from God. Why are they so keen to steal mine? Why are they so determined to go to the extent to exterminate me, only to steal my gifts, only to block my path? Why are they not concerned to focus on themselves? Because I know them. Some of them have their own gifts. I don't understand how they got to this. Of course, in my work, God has exposed to me how they got to this, and what kind of programming and what kind of wrong choices they made, and so on. But again, at the end of the day, I will walk my path and with the same determination, and I have no empathy if I have to choose between me and them. Nobody will mislead me. Nobody will take me away from my path with God. But overall, it's just a pity when you get to see that it's just one nation which got to rewrite the mind of people with only energy work. With only energy work. That's all there is to it. And of course, certain circumstances which they created in different individuals' lives, which literally impacted, of course, their and blurred their thinking. But the issue is, we all have been targeted with the same tools. We all have been victims of trauma creation by these scripts. Now, it matters the choice you make when you are faced with such situation. We all faced betrayals. We all faced trauma creation. We all faced aggression. Now, it matters what you choose to do with it and how you choose to walk your path and cleanse that and preserve your essence, basically. Anyone that makes the same choices as them will end up like them. It's a matter of the choice you make and the willingness to actually put in the work to cleanse yourself. Now, again, this is basically a video because I don't have much memory left on my memory card, so I don't know if I will be able to make videos before the Karmic Board meeting. So I wanted to put this message out now to make sure that I get to draw attention and to ask those who actually do want to stay with God in light and do want to carry out the spiritual fighting in order to get back to God once this is over here, namely that you must question everything that you know about yourself, everything that was done against you. Every individual who is your enemy and is targeting you and attacking you aggressively, because many times the individuals who attack you are part of your lineage. I said this before. They were programmed to attack you by these scripts only with the evil purpose of making sure that whatever harm is done onto you is done by somebody from your lineage in such a way so when you claim justice, the karma of the harm done on you will fall on your lineage. By that, what they succeed is that if I claim justice against somebody who has done wrong on me and he's from my lineage, then the karma will fall on my lineage. That means that karma it falls on me as well to some extent because it impacts on the entire lineage. So do you understand how they want even the spiritual fighting and staying in light to become a burden as you actually get to experience on one hand the attacks of your opponents, and then as they are part of your lineage, you get to experience also the moment when the karma is being delivered and it falls on your lineage as well. So you get to go through the same work of cleansing dharma, cleansing karma created by those who actually have been fighting against you. This only shows how much manipulation is. This doesn't change my path. I will still claim justice, judgment, and punishment. That's a fact. because this is the only way how we can actually move along. Even if the karma of their wrongdoings against me falls on my own lineage, then that's a price I will have to pay to stay with God, and that's it. But literally, it is a pity to see this, and it is a pity to see individuals who are working against themselves, against their own lineage, to steal gifts from a sibling from the same lineage, while all the while they have so many gifts of their own. You cannot be from the same lineage with me and have no gifts. There's no possible. I explained already, even if it's a very young soul who doesn't really have so many gifts, you still can sign up with God and receive a special assignment. And the karmic board meeting is an opportunity to do that. So really, in such a circumstance, really, it doesn't make any sense to just simply focus on stealing somebody else's gifts. First of all, because you will not be able to use that gift. You just won't be able, because that individual will just claim justice and God will punish you and will take the gift. More importantly, no matter what gifts you have, those gifts work only upon activation by God. Each of us, I had many gifts all my life, which I had no clue I have. And God explained to me, I only activate gifts on you when it's safe for you, when you qualify to also defend yourself against the type of darkness which comes with those gifts. More importantly, it is really stupid for anyone to fight to take my gifts after they created so much bondage on me. Because once you activate that gift, the bondage which you created on me will come after you. It is really simple logic. I know they have been created a lot of fake knowledge in all of these convents and all of these masonry and cults and so on, in which they teach you all sorts of stupid stuff. But just sit idle and think for yourself, and you will understand that you cannot steal from me after you have spent your entire life creating bondage on me. Simply because all the bondage which you created on me will be transferred to you, even if God, let's say God will allow you to have that gift. But you won't be able to fight against the bondages which you created, because you are in debt to those dark forces which you sent upon me. So you don't have my power of authority in face of those forces. Since I didn't create the bondages, I have authority in face of those forces. But since you summoned and worked with those forces, you're indebted to them. So you will not have the power to stand in light like I do, simply because you're guilty of creating that darkness. So I only gave you this example, hoping that this will be some sort of signal for some individuals to just sit idle and think about what they have done and how this cannot be to their advantage. It cannot, even if God allows you. It cannot be to their advantage. The most important message I think that I'm conveying through this video is that for those who are spiritual fighters, whom I don't know yet, but I hope to meet them one day, that there is a record which I created in Akashic Records of all the information in my research, which I'm not sharing publicly. And I haven't been sharing it publicly throughout my entire prophetic writing or videos, simply because God said this is information which is valuable, but on a different level, the fight has to be carried out. So I already said that everything that I share is guided by God, and whatever God says this is not the time or the place to share it, then I basically put in that record. So I ask those who actually do carry spiritual fighting and they really want to work with God to check that file in the Akashic Records and to learn information, because I'm working on it daily. So new information is notified in that file on daily basis. And the most recent information which I discovered in the last few hours is really, I think, the most troublesome from all information that I have ever received. And this is really important. So this will actually shed an entirely different light and will bring to light a different perspective of the entire, let's say, history that we know of in 3D. And this will actually help everyone with their own self-perception to see how much deception has been created, even with regards to their own identity and gifts and purpose, and how everything has been manipulated and transformed in order to serve just one purpose and one nation, which is at war with God. And literally they are doing this because of the harm they have done on the humankind. They are literally cursed by God, and for this reason, basically they want to manipulate everyone else, to enslave everyone else. And I must say that I actually felt sickness when I discovered that some of it was only done to destroy others out of envy, just because they were blessed by God. And I'm not talking about individuals, but I'm talking about entire nations, literally with evil intent towards specific nations which were supposed to lead the humankind into spiritual fighting. And these individuals literally just wanted those nations to be enslaved, to literally be enslaved. And for this, they have used different tools, including the already public political agenda about sexuality, in which they rewrite human brain for people to be confused about their gender, to embrace different type of practices, and so on, which ultimately leads to them feeding on their energy. And not only on their energy, but when you blur somebody's judgment to that extent about self-identity, then you literally can manipulate that individual very easily, not to mention that you can blackmail that individual. So I will stop here because it's difficult to speak as long as I am not able to actually state clearly what I mean to say. I trust that whoever God has in mind to learn about this truth will find out about this, and will take the time to go to Akashic Records and research the information, and they will try to review all the information they have so far through the lenses of this truth which I have noted in the Akashic Records in the last 24 hours. If I don't get to talk to you, then I wish you good luck with the Akashic, with the Karmic Board meeting next month, and I wish you wisdom so you can prepare properly and to ask for the right thing, to make the right decision.